welcome in powerful leaders. I consider each of you a powerful leader. We have a nice intention for you today to create a space for women leaders to share their wisdom because we know you're steeped in wisdom. We want you to be able to relax, let down your hair, step into just a relaxing feminine space, and just practice receiving so that you can become rejuvenated and increase your joy. And, we want to fuel your vision, mission, and passion. And I have a quick little story that I haven't even told Bossy about that I think is so perfect for today, why it's perfect. I got an email today from a woman who did our Spalicious retreat last March. And she was in a place of I don't know what to do with my life, and very, very wise woman, steeped in so much wisdom and knowledge and massage and healing the body using movement. And she had this big vision to really turn her life around. And she's engaged to be married to someone within a year. Now she wasn't dating anybody. She's now engaged to be married. She's going to shut down her massage practice and work towards her vision of creating a center for health and wellness and integrative healing. So, I like to call the process we would do with women going from silos to synergy, and that when women come together and connect their energies, even if we're not talking to each other, but we spend this sacred time together, we share visions, we talk about what we're willing to receive, we each put energy on it, and we create this momentum, a gravitational pull that helps us go faster, easier with inflow. And I know that's a big thing for Vasi. So welcome into our open house to ignite your feminine and have that flow and easily manifest. It happens. It's a very special time. And, in our society, we're not talking about the feminine too much. It's more talked about than it was 25 years ago when I started studying this. But it's not like we're living it in every moment, because we live in such a highly masculinized world, and maybe some of us are doing more, and we need to hang out with each other more to invite that energy to just arise and permeate through our lives. So what is feminine? I thought I'd share my definition, and then Bonsi's going to do a centering and share hers. So feminine energy, and everyone has their own definition. So this is not a truth. This is just my kind of take to share with you and set the stage. Feminine energy is like fire. It can warm you up. It can create an intimate atmosphere. It creates light, produces heat. In other words, it's a very powerful form of energy. It's transformative. Whereas fire turns solid into liquid and raw into cooked, the feminine is a state-changing energy. It can turn dark spaces into light. It can be dangerous. It can be mesmerizing, alluring. It can burn and destroy. It can be sacred and revered and create that sacred space. And when mishandled or misunderstood, it can rage out of control. And when focused, honed, honored, and given attention and channeled appropriately, it can be a divine healing and connecting force. And this is the power of the feminine. So, Vasi.
Thanks, Laura. Every time I hear that, my body just expands. So I'm going to invite each one of you now to close your eyes if you'd like, and feel your feet on the ground, and find that place in your body where your feminine energy, your feminine power resides. That fire that Laura spoke about. Maybe it's in your belly, or maybe it's in your hips, or maybe it's in your heart. Wherever that is, find that flame, that fire of your feminine power, and feel it or sense it, or just know that it's there. And take a deep breath in from that heat, that radiant energy. And on the out breath, breathe out anything that's not that energy or anything that's constraining it. So breathe in that light within you. And as you breathe out, just imagine it's radiating within you. So wherever your feminine power resides, it's like a ball of light. And with each breath, if you can breathe a little bit deeper, it's even better. Letting go of anything from your day, anything, busyness, mind, and just coming back to your breath and imagining that ball of light within you, that power house that you are is expanding with each breath. So that ball of light is expanding from front to back, side to side, top to bottom. Just allow yourself to let go of anything that's in the way of fully stepping into your feminine power and your truth in our time together. Let go of anything that's keeping you small, that's keeping you in same old thoughts, same old patterns. And just open to possibility and curiosity and joy in our time to being together. And then I'm also going to invite you to feel a beautiful sun right above your head. And it's bringing through universal source energy, a beautiful white light connecting us to whatever you call that higher source of energy. And it's supportive and it's bathing your whole body like a waterfall of light and allowing you to comfortably and joyfully be in your feminine energy in our time together and beyond, and bringing a sense of balance and wholeness and deep peace, peace of mind, peace in body, peace in your soul. And then the last energy I'm just going to invite you to include is maybe put your hand on your heart, any hand. Take a few deep breaths here and just feel into your intention for being here today with us. Maybe you came with an intention. Maybe you're aware right now, because this is all about receiving. So what would you like to receive in our time together? And just feel into that. We'll get a chance to share that with each other later. And then when you're ready, you're welcome to place your hands in your lap or whatever it's comfortable. Gently open your eyes. Maybe rub your ears. I like to do that. It kind of brings me back into my body, into the whole of my body. Maybe wiggle your toes. And Laura's going to share with us now what we're going to be doing today.
That was so amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vasi. So today we're going to explore feminine power. We're going to do some connecting and sharing. And we'll do exactly what Vasi said, practice receiving, talk about receiving, because that's a very feminine form of power. And we'll also share with you what we've cooked up to continue this energy, to stay connected, to ignite your feminine. We have a play shop and a Spalicious retreat that we're doing. So we'll share a little bit about that if that's okay. And we thought we'd just quickly introduce ourselves. And in case you don't know me, I'm Laura Rubenstein, and I feel so passionate about women stepping into the feminine because we are the ones who are going to change this world. And it's not going to happen from the masculine, it's going to happen from the feminine. And the more we can play in it and connect to it, it's going to happen. And so I started, like I said, studying feminine energy about 25 years ago. But I will tell you that I've been leading gatherings for women since 1991, and just really a couple of years out of college. And I was gathering women to really connect and share, share time together and wisdom. And we're still doing it today. It looks a little different, but we love gathering. When women gather, the world changes. That's what I know, period. Um, and I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a leadership and business development coach. I also am a digital marketer. I help people with their online presence and businesses. And I am the creator of something we'll be using in a little bit, the Feminine Power Cards, and you see them up here. They are endorsed by John Gray, the man who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And that's kind of my claim to fame with them. And I'm just really happy to be here and especially to be collaborating with you, Vasi.
Thank you, Laura. I was thinking the other day, and I didn't share this with Laura, that I feel like I won the jackpot for a collaborative partner. So thank you for that, or the lottery, whatever.
You're welcome. And I wanted to welcome in Joanne and now welcome Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Well, I
Welcome.
just want to let you know I can't stay long. I'm sick.
Okay. Oh,
Got to get
sorry.
back in bed.
Well, we will help you feel better, I'm sure.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming
Okay.
for however long you can stay. So was there anything else, Laura, you wanted to add?
Nope, your floor.
So I'm here today because probably like most of you or all of you, I really believe in the power of feminine energy to change our world, to create a better place, more joyful, more loving, more collaborative. And I'm also here because of a journey that started when I was about 30 and my life had fallen apart. I was grieving a divorce and I was very burnt out from a corporate job. And I was really struggling. I went for help from this woman. She called herself a therapist, but she was like so much more than that. And I remember she was asking me about my history. And when she heard me say I had been a rebel when I was younger, she asked me this life-changing question. And that question is, where is that rebel now? And I realized there was a whole like wild side of myself that had been suppressed. And so I began to work with her. She introduced me to a book. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, called Women Who Run with the Wolves. And it compares ourselves to how wolves are. And it was absolutely groundbreaking for me because it really led me into my reconnecting with my wild nature, my rebel nature, and the sacred feminine. So I began to do journaling and I began to do women's circles. And also, I went on a 3-day vision quest with a Native American healer. And I was in a circle of 6 feet for 3 days with no food, just water, and no one around for miles and miles. And it was such an empowering experience. And I came out of that. It just changed the course of my life. And so I began to embody the feminine, that wildness more in my personal and professional life. Eventually, I left my corporate work and I really followed my heart. And my heart said, I really wanted to support teams and leaders and people who didn't just want change, but they wanted a transformation. They wanted a connection to their purpose and to make a bigger impact in the world. And along the way, I met this wonderful man, and it was the relationship of my dreams. And we've been together for 30 years now. And then I started a business about 20 years ago, and those businesses have evolved. But at this point, I brought my creativity into my business, all these feminine qualities, my intuition. So I work with people now intuitively. And this painting behind me is actually one of my intuitive paintings. It's feminine power that I painted. So I'll paint them and channel different things. And I just found this sense of peace and balance and a sense of not needing to like do and plan and achieve. I brought this balance into my life when I brought in the feminine. And my definition of feminine power has evolved, but I wanted to read to you what I wrote a couple of weeks ago. And this is my definition of feminine power as it stands right now, and feminine energy. Feminine energy is like liquid light, a knowing that is strong and true. It is the way of our heart. It is the courage to stand in our power and speak truth. It's embracing, expansive, expressive. It is the energy that seeks to connect, to create, to conjure, to offer up compassion wherever and whenever it is needed. It's like a chalice of pure water. It flows with love. It is infinite, inspiring, and illuminating. Feminine power is the universal force that flows within all of us.
Amen.
And we have never needed it more in our world and in our lives. And that's why I'm so excited about what Laura and I have to share with all of you today, and what the space that we're inviting you into, and which you may already be into, but we're opening up another opportunity to express and to be supported in your feminine energy.
So we want to hear from you as well. Thank you for that, Vasi. We have more similarities in our stories too, especially around that 30-year-old mark. But we won't go there now because we want to hear from each of you. We want to go around and each of you take 1 minute and say your name, where you're located, and what else do we want to say? What's just your definition, a quick definition of feminine power for you. So you can unmute your microphone, and Amalia, would you like to go first?
Sure, I'm Amalia, or Amy Peck, and I'm in Escondido at the Goddess Studio. Right now I'm in my office. And definition of feminine energy or feminine power, that can take quite some journaling time, I think, to find a succinct way to say it. But love, compassion, forgiveness, and the courage to embrace and accept and be all of that.
Love that. You did great. Joanne, would you like to go next? I see you're unmuted.
Yeah, thank you. So I am in Dana Point, and today my feminine power is listening to my body, whatever my body is telling me I need, and taking care of it in the moment.
Yes, super important. And that has ripple effects. I love that. Linda, would you like to share?
Hi, I'm Linda Thyberg. I'm in Lemon Grove. And let's see, I guess what came to me was the biggest strength of women is listening and patience and non-judgment and hope.
Wow, that's a powerful energy. Thank you. And how about Sharon?
Hey, everybody. Sharon Uselman. I am in San Diego. And I would say feminine to me is about being and consciousness and intuition. So those are my associations with feminine.
Love it. Love it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Tracy, would you like to share?
I'm Tracy, and I live in San Diego. And I think it's sort of a both and. I think women have been so skewed in one way that we have real power in that of presence, of listening, of intuition, and yet women act all the time. I mean, they're moms. Right? And so I just feel like it's that weaving of both sides happen in women. It's just one stays so second class, and so it's bringing it forth and to me, that takes community, to help support risking doing it differently. So that's what brings me to this meeting, is looking for a community of women that are trying to be full, whole.
Yeah, you're in the right place. So, I got chills of what you just said. It was perfect. Yeah. All right. Wow. This is great. And Vasi, do you want to add anything before we go into the cards?
No, there's nothing coming to me except to echo what you said. You're in the right place.
All of you, from, stepping into it and being supported in community. That's why I wanted to even do this, is like, I need a community. I want to, talk about this. This is so important. And so I promised you we'd revisit the cards, the feminine power cards, and each card has a feminine power principle on the pink side and then a practice on the blue side. And feminine, so Tracy, what you said was so important, because I've said for a long time, stepping into the feminine and balancing it out with your masculine, it's like a practice. It's like a yoga practice. It's not like you come to a class and you're done. Hey, I got my feminine power. It's an everyday practice. And especially since we just tend towards that masculine side a lot. And there's nothing wrong with the masculine, nothing at all. It's just when we tap into our feminine and we balance out those energies in the right balance for ourselves, amazing things and shifts happen. Like, so much good, so much love, so much healing. So, like I said, you're in the right place. So the card I pulled for today, and Vasi and I talked about, is about receiving. So that's kind of our topic today, and we're going to have you go and share in breakout rooms about it. But the principle is, receiving is an active process that requires openness and gratitude. Receiving is an active process that requires openness and gratitude. So a lot of people think receiving is passive. Think again. So that practice on the blue side, there's 3 types. And on this card, it has a heart at the bottom, which signifies there's something to contemplate, journal on, or talk about. And the 2 questions it has for us, and we're going to, share in the breakout rooms about this. What am I open to receiving right now? And how can I receive well? So there they are in the chat. What am I open to receiving right now? And you can do that, your answer is your answer. And how can I receive well? So we'd like for you to go into breakout rooms, and we'll pair you up, and you can each take, let's see, like 2.5
4
minutes
minutes.
each. Each person take 4 minutes?
Each person takes 4 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so perfect. Each person takes 4 minutes, and then you'll come back out and we'll share what insights, wisdom you want to bring back into for the group to benefit from. So let me set those up. Is there any questions while I'm setting this up?
Since we
No,
have
but
an odd number.
I need to leave, and so that'll make a difference.
Okay,
How you break out.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, good. Then, but I hope this was just a little sneak peek for you, and we'll have
Yeah.
the replay. We'll send the replay so you can see the
Yes.
rest of it.
Thanks.
And feel better, my dear.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
for what you're doing.
You bet.
Laura,
Yeah.
my question is, what am I open to receiving? Like from this tonight, or from the world, or from what is
In general.
in general?
And you can do it a specific, I'm open to receiving from a specific person. I'm open to receiving $1 million. Whatever it is for you. Yeah. So let's see. I am good. Yeah. So this will be fun. So we're going to give you, let's see if it tells me if I can give you 8 minutes. Breakout rooms close after 8 minutes. Okay. Or do we make it 10 minutes so they have a warm up time?
Yeah, we could do 10. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you will have 10 minutes. So about 4 to 5 minutes each. On your mark, get set, enjoy.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm gonna pause the recording.
Welcome back, ladies. How was the sharing?
It was
Good?
short.
Too short, huh? Yeah, when we get going and we have so much to talk about and connect on and learn about each other. Yeah, we wanted to give you a little taste of, an opportunity to do that. And we'll keep doing these events. And of course, we have what we're going to share how you can do that in a bigger way. But I wanted to hear what are you taking away?
I have one question, Laura. If it's possible, could you give like a halfway marker? Because I think, well, I know I personally spoke way too long and feel like I didn't get the benefit either of, of what Amelia may have shared.
Yeah, it was a missing. I must apologize for that. So yes,
No worries.
absolutely. I normally do that. And my apologies for that.
Well, we got off on a little late start on our group.
Yeah. So what was the takeaway? What did you get to share and learn and receive? Or say you received?
Well, I think we have so much in common, as women.
We do.
That we're all dancing around the same issues, some more, some less, but it's always in flux throughout our life. And it's issues that we all share somewhere along our journey. And they haven't been validated. And there's a great need to do that. So creating an opportunity to feel seen and heard and validated and affirmed, and know that we're human, and there's a lot of reassurance in that, remembering that we're human, and that we need to honor that within each other.
Did you feel validated in what you shared and what was shared with you?
Yes, always, whenever there's any sharing with another woman, I think we immediately get to the point of tapping into that universal need of giving and receiving.
Totally. Thank you. From Linda and Sharon, who would like to share?
I could share a bit. I do think one thing we had in common, although we just shared different types of goals and areas that we want to receive, I think receiving well in both cases came down to spending time listening to our intuition. And then we both agreed upon that, although there also certainly can be resources outside that can lend us support, and there's some doing and making decisions, but I think receiving well, at least in my case, equated to spending time listening. And I don't know, Linda, I don't want to speak on your behalf, your takeaways, but those are just some of my takeaways.
Well, basically what I said was journaling the things, and that's basically thinking about it and going deeper with it. So
Nice. That is great that you're receiving from your higher self, basically. Yeah. And Joanne, your takeaways.
I want to just say that I'm still in mourning that I didn't have the opportunity to give the floor to Amelia. But
I got to
I had a wonderful time with her. So just wonderful. It was a little short for us.
Yeah.
But it was lovely to, share what I did share. I'm not even sure what I said, but whatever it was meant to be said.
Well, actually, I think you spoke for me too, because everything you're saying, I'm going, yep, yep. So you really spoke for me too.
That's what I was just going to say, is it
Thank
seems
you.
like even though you were speaking, you were like a voice for the collective in a sense. A lot of times that can happen. And it actually, what it felt like is, Amalia, you were receiving from Joanne, right? For yourself as well, as she was sharing. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Everything that happens is perfect.
Mhm.
I always like to say, because it empowers us to do so, and then we get better. Right.
Yeah.
So I receive.
Thank you. I needed to hear that today.
Yeah. See, there's always something that we get.
I would also add that we can always bring more self-love into this space, right? More compassion for who we are, for what we thought we should or shouldn't do. Yeah, we can. Oh, and so let's just take a deep breath right now and just allow in to our hearts even more self-compassion and love for who we are and how that's perfect. Like Laura said, it's all perfect with us together, whatever happens. And then just feel like that expansiveness, right? So when we're in that space, it gives us permission to be even more ourselves, more authentic, more vulnerable, more expressive. Yeah, there's no right or wrong in that space. There just is us and our beauty. And I see that in each one of us, there's like such beauty as we're going deeper, into our feminine and receiving.
And as we're in this gentle space with each other and ourselves and learning to do that, it's a really intentional space here to play in the feminine, to practice that. And so it's perfect that something goes, not perfectly, like it should, right? It's just great because that's what we want to do. We want to evolve our feminine essence. And the only way we do that is through, soaking in knowledge is great, but experiencing what and evaluating and journaling, like each of you said, and sharing. So, what if you could evolve your feminine on purpose here and explore in community how to show up in the feminine, in your feminine power, right? In your both personally and professionally. A lot of people have said to me, a lot of women, I've got the feminine down in my personal life, but I don't know how to bring it into my business or my career because it will be seen as weak or whatever. So there's power in being able to think about it, spend time with it, listen to other women, how they model the feminine in different situations. And what if you could be supported with the tools and the insights in a sacred space and learn and practice applying and integrating feminine power into your life with new perspectives? We want to offer a path that brings more grace and ease and joy. And so there are a couple of ways that we're going to share with you to play with us in the feminine that we have coming up. And I set out 25 years ago to discover how to create a connected, soulful, juicy relationship and find joy in my life. Because I knew, and at some point, I have to step into something called feminine energy, which was a new term for me in 1997, 98. There wasn't much out there for one to really, step into that space and balance. I was highly masculine in my masculine a lot, and even dissed myself, criticized myself for things that were very feminine because I had no idea. I just thought it wasn't a good thing. I shouldn't multitask. Yeah, well, that's feminine. So luckily I found a mentor. Her name was Anne. And she stood in front of a networking meeting that I was at and said, "Hi, I'm Ann Hancock, and I lead gatherings for succulent wild women. And we talk about the most powerful form of energy there is, and it's feminine power." And I was like, "What did she just say?" Like, and this is in 1998. I think I met her at the beginning of 98. And I beelined for her afterwards, and I said, "Can we have lunch? Because I don't understand what you just said, but I think I need to know about it." And so she had this program, which she eventually called, that's the Gatherings for Succulent Wild Women is taken from, I don't know if you've all read a book by Sark, the woman Sark. She asked for permission to use that for her gatherings, but then she called it Embracing the Feminine afterwards. But I took her program 6 times and then I begged her to teach it to me because I really wanted to embody this part of me that was authentic, but I had no practice of it. I had no validation, like you were saying, of it. And I needed to do what Tracy was saying, is like surround myself with people who were in this conversation and in this energy. And then I started gathering women to play in the feminine because I knew that embodying it, and to this day, if I don't talk about it, if I'm not meeting and gathering with girlfriends who are conscious with this, it's hard to sustain staying in that feminine space. Can anybody relate to that? It's just me. Yeah. So, so recently I set out to design my own program called Ignite Your Feminine Soul. It's a course as a framework for women to explore and embody and spend time with and evolve and live in our feminine essence. So women who are truly living in feminine energy, I believe, approach it like practice, like yoga. You just don't learn it once. It continually deepens. And we are able to impart it better with other people and influence people to that more nurturing, compassionate side of life. So if you see the value of integrating feminine power, then the course might be for you. And so I'm here to tell you a little bit more about this course. And it's called Ignite Your Feminine Soul. I call it a play shop. It's virtual. We meet on Zoom and for 7 weeks. And here's a little bit of about it. And it says 8 weeks, but it's actually 7 weeks. So this is a slide we didn't change. It's going to start April 24th, not the 17th. So pretend that says the 24th. And we really want to have a new way of communicating, or hone the way of communicating from our essence, just play in that, attract and cultivate more connected and juicier relationships in all areas of your life, whether it's girlfriends, professionally, or personally, intimately. And oh, this is a big one. And Vasi, I know you can talk about this one. How to generate results with less energy and feel in alignment.
Yeah. So that's like when we're coming from a masculine energy, it can feel more like force and push versus the feminine flow. So having an ease and a grace, and it's just less time, less energy, and yet more is being created.
Right.
By our beingness in that feminine energy.
Totally. And of course, you'll be joining a like-hearted community. We like to say like-hearted, of women leaders, and forge those meaningful connections. And I bet everybody doesn't like that word leader because you don't feel you are one. You're here. You are a leader just by being. Okay. It's not your position. It has nothing to do with your position. in life. So what you receive could be life changing from this process. And we'll talk about receiving a lot and receiving at a very high vibration as well. But here's a little bit about what's inside the course. In week 1, we're going to address fear as a way to look at what stops us from living our true essential nature and define what our essential nature is. And I have a technique to really just put it right out there, because fear is always in the background, but we're going to just like look at it and say hi and make it okay, and how to flip out of what we call your wheel of fear into your wheel of freedom. And then in week 2, once we're on a roll now, we're going to unveil that women are the rulers and the healers of the world in a new way, in a way you may not have thought about it. And we'll practice opening our hearts and evaluating where we're going consciously. In week 3, we're going to take a deep look at the 5 core feminine power principles and how to access them. We're going to talk about the stages of evolution. We're going to talk about masculine and feminine energies, and a really high vibration concept called magnetism and polarity. And we give you a whole new perspective on that. And then, so I guess that's week 3 and 4 there. We're going to dive into having more joy by exploring darkness. And then considering our levels of needs and joy, and how do we actually get to something called ecstasy? And I'm not talking about the drug. Talking about really just that energy in our body. And in fact, we'll do more on mistake making, and then we will in week 5 do something very, very special. We invite a group of men to answer our questions about women, how they perceive women. And it's very enlightening when we provide this space for men to feel safe. So we're going to practice that, and then having them open up to some pretty vulnerable questions. And you get to the week before, I'm going to ask you, and you can even start now if you want, but thinking of questions. If I could ask guys in general, this is not about one particular man, this is about men on the planet, a question about how they operate or how they think of powerful women, or anything you want, like what guys do this, or what do men think about that, powerful women, or you get to craft the questions, and we'll ask them, and we'll create that sacred space for them. And Vasi, how has the experience of that been for you? Because you've done that twice.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of women's circles and women's workshops and all things women over the years, and I should say, I absolutely loved how Laura facilitated this. And I loved the flow of it. And I loved the exercises. And I loved doing it in community. So it really helped me to evolve my feminine. And specifically, let's talk about the men's panel. The men were just so incredible in the way they answered the questions and how we thought about things. And we practiced receiving. We just sat there, we didn't just, but we experienced shifts in listening to them and really honoring the way that they were showing up, and then being able to look at ourselves as well.
Right.
But the whole of the course, what I really love is you're doing it in a small group. And even though it's on Zoom, you're doing the exercises together, you're learning things, Laura's sharing things, and we're all at different places, but we're all heading in the same direction. And that's what's so beautiful, and this with the same intention.
Yeah. And then we even have an integration session, and where we're going to celebrate, and Vasi's going to do some. Vasi, why don't you explain what you're doing?
Yeah. So a lot of times when we go through, I'm sure all of you had this experience, we go through a program or an experiential thing, we might get it like on 1 or 2 levels of our being, like maybe mentally and emotionally, but maybe not physically or not energetically. So I'm going to be doing some energy work to help integrate everything we've done, and also to help you look at how are you going to take what you learned and apply it. Laura and I are very, very practical too. We're visionary, but we're also practical. And so it's like, how are you going to take these principles? How do you want to use them? How will you make them yours? Yeah. So that's the integration piece and the application.
Yeah. And Vasi, I don't know if people get if you don't know Vasi, having Vasi in the space is like having a hug that empowers you, right? That knows your every curve and your essence. Like you just get people's essence so you can support them. And so I love that we're playing together, that we can do this and bring this to everyone.
Thank you.
So
Mom.
just just a little bit about the logistics. The play shops are 5 p.m. to 6:30 Pacific, and we do send out replays, so you don't have to be there. There are experiential processes. You can do some of them alone, but the wisdom that is shared and just feeling it is even worthwhile with the replays. We'll start on April 24th. We'll go every Wednesday through May, and then we have one Monday in June. I think that's a Monday. Or is that a Wednesday? That's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday in June. So they're always Wednesdays. And but once we've completed the first 6 weeks of the play shop, then we have that weekend, the Spalicious retreat to nourish your soul. And that's where we come together. We get to physically be together, slow down. We'll nourish our bodies. We'll cook. We'll do cooking class. We'll have time to just kind of, like you said, Joanne, get to know each other better and deepen those connections. Tap into joy, like really have a weekend of joy. Not even a weekend. It's 2 days. We'll explain to you what it is, but we want to strengthen your vision, your goals, and your ability to receive and clear any blocks, because Vasi gets to the heart of that with her Enlighten Me box and self-love energy energizer. and we'll even tap into your creative essence. We do something called soul collage. You can see this woman here is holding up a card and working on a collage there. And soul collage, Linda and I are both facilitators, but we do it with regard to the feminine in this. And it's not a vision board. It's so not that. It's so much deeper than that. So, and I'm going to have you talk just in a minute here. Yummy meals, cooking class. We're going to do a little sound healing. And then we have a session called the heart storming session, which is really where you get to open up and bring your heart to the group. And Babasi, do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So it's like, there's things sometimes that we hold in our heart that are our visions or goals or dreams. And it's a chance to share what's on your heart. Is there something you're wanting to create or to take to the next level? And what kind of support would you want, And so doing that in a space where you're feeling like there's an energy that's supporting you. I love, Laura will talk about how we're once we enter each other's orbit, we're part of this cosmos, and there's an energy in it, and there's a momentum that you can have. And so that's what the heart storming is. It's building momentum for your dreams, your visions, your goals, whatever it is that you get to share in that really juicy feminine space.
Yeah, and it doesn't have, you don't have to have like a big vision, or it's about what do you want in your life now? What do you need in support in, and how can we just put energy on that for you? Like I said, that now the one woman is getting married and that we did that for. That's so great. I can't take 100% credit for that, but it started the momentum, the energy, the gravitational pull for that definitely helped. And like I said, we'll do the soul collage. We're going to do some movement, guided meditations. We have gifts for you, like a deck of feminine power cards, but there'll be more. Don't want to give everything away. And Vasi, talk about the self-love clearing and intuitive guidance you offer.
So Laura and I are both offering 30-minute sessions after the retreat. And the one that I'm offering is we can tune into your vision that you're going to be sharing with us in the heartstorming or goal or anything else. And I'll help you clear any blocks to self-love. And that is huge, whatever the highest priority block is. And we can actually do a lot in 30 minutes. And the other thing is I have a couple, Laura spoke about them, a couple of high frequency tools that also add and will quickly clear. A couple of you have had opportunity to experience it. This is the self-love booster. And so what it does is it just more easily connects us to our higher selves. So I use that remotely in the sessions. And so your time with me, we will look at whatever's in the way of you moving into even more of your feminine energy and claiming more of your feminine power, whatever that looks like for you.
When you put that up there, I felt like a whole hug. I just felt a hug. It was like, wow, what is this energy? I'm like, okay, I can feel it.
I sleep with it.
Yeah, and I'm tuned into it. So if you didn't feel it, don't worry about it. I'm tuned into it. And then the session with me is a feminine integration session. However, it can be, that can mean a whole lot. It means what's going on in your life that we can integrate with you, whether it's from the feminine or how do we marry our feminine and masculine in our everyday life, So we organically let that happen for you. I wanted to just bring up, the dates. So how we run this is we have an evening Zoom meeting on the Wednesday before the Friday. We can meet in person so that if there's anybody who you haven't met yet, you can meet them. It's a meet and greet and just set the stage of what's going to happen. So we don't have to spend a lot of that awkward time in the beginning on Friday. When we come back together, we're just already feeling like family and we can jump into cooking and we know who each other is. You're going to have a nice introductory time on Wednesday. And then Friday evening, we meet from 4 to 8. And then Saturday, we go from 10 to 7. And it'll be at a private home in San Diego here. And you go home at night. So you can still have a life. It's not the whole weekend, but I wanted to make it accessible. If you have to leave early or come a little late, we're very flexible. Again, very feminine. This is the unretreat retreat in a sense. And as things come up, because we have good amount of time for wisdom sharing and and you can kind of craft what you want to get out of this. And that's what we're going to talk about on Wednesday night is like, well, what would be most important for you to walk away with? And how would you like to have that happen? So we have a framework, we have processes and yummy, spalicious things to do. But a lot of the in-between times of that, you can actually help formulate. So it becomes something we all co-create together. And it's very organic in that sense. Are there questions before I get into more of the logistics about pricing and everything, about the retreat and the play shop?
So the play shop and the retreat, is it all one thing or can you?
You can do either
match?
or both. Yes.
Either.
So, good question. Any other questions? Because I'm going to go there next. Okay. So normally our retreat and the course together, of course, it's going to be a better deal if you do it together, is $12.97. The 8-week virtual course on its own is $7.97. And the retreat only is $8.97. So, but if you register by April 10th for our early bird, we've slashed those prices by about $500 for the retreat and course and it's a 7-week virtual course. $4.97. If you want the retreat only, it's $5.97. So you can take it any way you want. All you have to do is go to igniteyourfeminine.com and click the RSVP button there, or scan this link and then click the RSVP button and it'll give you all your options. There's even a payment plan, by the way. So if you want to do both and you want to break it into 3 or 4 payments, I think it is. I don't remember if it's 3 or 4. It's one of those. But igniteyourfeminine.com is where you can look at the options and And also come back for the open house in May. We're doing one on May 20th. And those are always free. You're always welcome to come back. We'll always have a different question thing for you to connect with women, and we'll do a better job of making sure everybody gets to speak. So, yeah, so we always mix it up, but we want you to know that the feminine space is here for you. If you want to take a deeper dive, we would love to welcome your magnificent presence to be with us. And Bossy, do you want to add?
I was just going to see if anyone has any other questions or, yeah, anything they would like to ask us about anything we've shared. I feel like there's a question in this space, but someone might be holding back a little.
How many people do you expect at the weekend retreat?
Between around 10, maybe 12 total. We don't have space for more than that.
And we like to keep it small. So in those heart-storming circles and the activities people get to share, there's also a lot of interaction in the soul collage, which is fun. We're creating our own cards together and we're sharing, and it's nice if it's not too big. So yeah, 10.
And our meal times are very good times for a lot of conversation and good wisdom sharing to happen. And I really want to, learn from each of you and have you get what you need. We also have a resource directory that we provide that women have put everything from their favorite movies and books to their secret potions and supplements, and whether you need it, and practitioners here in San Diego and favorite things they've bought on, for little hacks, life hacks. And one of the bonuses I give is for those of you who are either in a business or in working or volunteering even, and you're in the business world and you want to know how to speak more compellingly in the feminine, I have a chart that's masculine words versus feminine words that you can substitute. So I gave a little downloadable cheat sheet of that. Again, just for practice. And that is something that evolves and keeps growing. So what other questions or comments, or how was this session to connect with women and to talk about the feminine for you? Valuable?
Well, short.
It's short. It is short. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to be on Zoom for more than like 75 minutes. So that's why we have it. We'll have much more in the play shop time to connect. And I know there's so many wise women here that will share their energy. Sharon, you were nodding your head. Was there something in particular that came to mind when you said, yeah, this is valuable?
Oh, I didn't really know what to expect, but it's always great to, I think particularly the breakout rooms, to just put some words to, I guess, your own processes or own thoughts. So I think that was one of my favorite parts.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Sharon, one of my joys at the retreat, this will be our third one coming up, is that, and my second one, because Laura did the first one on her own, one of my joys was seeing how the women connect, like in pairs or 3 or 4 together, and the conversations that get generated from that. And they're very like spontaneous and organic, but it's like we find who it is, like just like a magnet that either has something that we're wanting to like have more of or learn more about, or someone who's hungry for something, some experience we had. There's just this beautiful giving and receiving. And I saw the women walk away, and there was a sense of lightness about them. And I mean that in 2 ways. I mean, they seemed lighter, like they left, like their steps were lighter and their whole being was lighter. But there was like more brightness in them. They walked out. And we just get so fed by being with each other. So journaling's great, meditating's great, all that stuff's great, but there's something you can't substitute what a like when women come together and do those things together. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it should be very juicy, rich, and enriching to come together in our what I like to say in our orbits. Each of us has our lives that we're up to, our projects, our organizations, our businesses, our families, the places we contribute, and we come together and we just add flow to it. We presence it. We allow you to take a break for a little bit from it and step into some nurturing and let it flow so that it's easier to step back into your life with a renewed perspective, energy, and hope, as one of you said, like hope for something more. So, oh, and if any of you have any friends you think, oh gosh, I'd love to do this with my girlfriend so and so, please invite them to the next open house and or invite them to register with you, and we would love to welcome them in. They don't have to come to an open house to register, so feel free to share this with some people.
How many retreats have you guys done? Is this the second or third one?
This is the third one of this iteration. Like I said, I've been leading gatherings for women
Right.
since 1991, and I've done various retreats through the years. But when I developed the Ignite Your Feminine Play shop, I felt like it needed a retreat with it because I did a bunch of market research with women leaders, and I said, "What would you want?" And this is what they wanted. They wanted a place to share wisdom with each other, and so we're really creating that space plus a place to rejuvenate yourself. So yeah. So there it is. I don't want to leave because all of your energy is so beautiful, but we will let you have your evening and Vasi.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how about we leave and close our time together by just sharing a word or phrase of an insight or energy that you're leaving with? Who would like to start? What's an insight or energy you're leaving with?
I got an affirmation from dear Sharon. I'm getting support from known and unknown resources.
And my key word is openness.
Thank you both.
Expanding circles. Ripples of love going out to the universe.
What a beautiful image. Yeah.
Joanne, did you want to share?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a little Gaelic prayer and blessing for you all. Mary, we meet. Mary, may we meet. So we have met today. Mary, we part as we're saying goodbye tonight. And then Mary, may we meet again.
I love that. Thank you.
Yes.
And I have just a heart full of gratitude. So thank you everyone for being here.
Thank
We'll
you.
see
Thank you
hopefully
for
in the play shop.
organizing
You're welcome.
and co-creating. I know you guys are an amazing team.
Yeah.
We do like playing together, and we like to invite others into our space to play with us. So feel free to let us know if any of you have any questions about the play shop or the retreat. We'd really love to see you there. It's calling to you.
Yeah. And we'll send out the replay, and so you'll have our information again. All right, bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a nice
everyone.
night.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. Bye, Vasi.
Bye. Thanks for coming,
Thank
Amalia.
you.
Good job.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you.